Yokoso, Japanese Quest to it. Welcome to Japanese Quest. Today the journey continues. And yeah, let's talk about a bit about what Japanese Quest is, what that means. I realize sometimes people coming to the stream or this video on YouTube later for the first time, it can be confusing. What is Japanese Quest? Who are these people on this journey with us on Japanese Quest? I made a tweet about that today, just borrowing from the description on Twitter, really. But let's quick check it out. What is Japanese Quest? Someone wants to link the Twitter in chat. You can. We have a command for that. And let's see. What is Japanese Quest? So here, we have new words here. We add new words. We use this dictionary here, Jisho, to add some of those new words. And here on Twitter, we have a Japanese Quest Twitter. If you want to find this tweet, this explains what is Japanese Quest. If you want to spread the word, you can like it, you can retweet it. But what is Japanese Quest? Very simply, Japanese Quest is a journey into Japanese language through Japanese video games. And I read that wrong. Let's read it again. Language is difficult. Japanese Quest is a journey into the Japanese language through Japanese video games. This description's been the same for a long time because that's really the core of what we do. With Japanese Quest, people can learn Japanese in context. So this is kind of the key. When you learn a language, the textbook, it's usually not in context. It's really good if you learn things in context. You have a context around it, even beyond the sentence. You see kind of what's going on. So in context as it's encountered in-game with a licensed Japanese teacher as their guide. So I'm a classroom Japanese teacher, mostly in high school. I've done some other levels of Japanese teaching as well. I'm licensed to teach Japanese in the state of Minnesota in the US. And what we do, you can learn Japanese in context. We add words. We look up words. That's what we do. And it's kind of evolved over time, but the core of what we do, teaching Japanese in context, adding words, that has stayed the same. So let's go back to the game, which is Dragon Quest XI, and let's do that. Kelly, thanks for the link to the Twitter page. Find it if you want to. You can follow there if you want to, too. And Games Fan, Yokai, Usagi, Les, Minna. Ohayou. Good morning. Today the journey continues. Let's go. Power level currently 3,022. We finally reached over 3,000. But we're still going for over 9,000, which is about fluency in a language. You need roughly 9,000 words in a language, but 3,000 is pretty good. 3,000 words is roughly N3 level, and it's about what people say you need to start maybe trying to play video games, or maybe reading some easier books, or manga possibly. And you can do that even before 3,000 words, obviously. But it can be a bit more comfortable with 3,000. And let's see, so where are we? I think we're going this way. Sa, ikimashou. Because we can look at our adventure guide, Boken Gaido. And on this, the coast, Kaigan ni aru, so on the coast of Sorutiana. So on that coast, we can find this machi. Sorute kono machi e mukao. So go to this village that is here, and that's where we're going. Sa, ikimashou. I wish we could ride this horse. In this game, some creatures you can ride, but only if they're sparkly. Eh. Okay. Just randomly talked to someone we were trying to attack them, but okay. Might as well do our new technique we learned from the Grandmaster. Yosh. Kachimashita. I saw a good question on Twitter yesterday that just asked Japanese learners, what are you reading currently? I'm kind of curious too, what are people reading these days in Japanese? Whether it's manga, whether it's a light novel, whether it's a game, what are you reading in Japanese these days? I just started a new book in Japanese. It's a pretty good book. It's called, what is it called? In English, it's called The Castle in the Mirror, or I think The Solitary Castle in the Mirror. I don't think it has an English translation, though. In Japanese, I believe it's Kagami no Kojo, The Castle in the Mirror. I kind of like that title better than, like, The Solitary Castle in the Mirror. But that book seems like it's worth checking out. Kelly says, Kino's Journey, and for a game, Tokimeki Memorial. Nice. Pedland, you're reading Kino's Journey as well. Nice. Good to hear. Yeah, I've heard that's a pretty good one for a first book, or for one of your first books, because, for one thing, it's short stories, so you can kind of feel like you're making progress. For another thing, it's on the simpler side of Japanese. So yeah, I only read it because it was recommended to me, but now I recommend it a lot, because it's just I just love this series. It's a journey just like we're doing now. It's a fun journey, and it's just good. I don't care if it's on the simpler side or what. It's just good, in my opinion. What does this one say? Kumo desu ka? It's kind of hard to read on my screen. Is that about being a spider? ID. Konnichiwa. So yeah, what is everyone reading these days? What games are you reading? What manga are you reading? What, books are you reading? I'm curious. What are people in chat? What are you reading these days? Right. Isekai, but reborn as a spider. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. Nice, good to hear some more things what people are reading. Just ordered Ni no Kuni, nice. Using game to text, which can help when you're playing games. To look up those words in the game. Okay, looks like we're going here. So we can just... Looks good. Cool. Good to hear what people are reading. And does everyone like what they're reading, too? Like, the last book I read, Penguin Highway... Honestly, I didn't like it that much. And the book I'm currently reading, The Solitary Castle in the Mirror, Kagami no Kojo. To be honest, I got the free sample off Amazon Japan. I didn't like it very much. So I stopped reading it. But then I read the reviews on a book meter. And all the reviews are in Japanese. So Japanese people saying they thought it was a really good book to understand kind of the psychology of a student who stops going to school. They're just not able to go to school anymore for whatever reason. Just school is too much for them, or like they're getting bullied, or some other psychological reason. And I realized I should give it another chance. As a teacher, I should read this book, I realized. So I started reading it again, and kind of reading it again with the kind of lens of a teacher. I started enjoying the book a lot more. Reading it the first time I was reading, like, this depressed person, I'm not really, it's a junior high student, I'm not relating to this, but reading it kind of as a teacher, I started liking it more, and started again, bought the book, now I'm reading it. So are you liking the books you're reading? Because some books I read, I just try to read, I'm not really liking it. And sometimes if a book is challenging, too, obviously, it might be hard to enjoy, but you start to like it more and more. Sometimes you change your perspective, like I said, I just did. You can like it more, reading it a different angle. Good, that's good to hear. You like Kino's Journey. Can be a bit hard but I think it's good to get out of your comfort zone. I agree. And yeah, I really like that series. I hope they do another one soon. I think the last one I read, 23, I read almost a year ago? I don't really know. Yeah, if you like what you're reading, if you like what you're playing, if you like what you're watching, that can help a lot. So quitting your current book, finding a new one can be good. Or sometimes, like me, finding a reason, finding a way to like it more. Like I read some reviews and I realized, you know what? I should give this book another chance. And now I'm kind of liking it more. I'm kind of reading it. It was the #1 most popular book on Bookmeter, so I realized this is a book people in Japan are really reading right now. I kind of like reading books like that are topical, that are popular. But sometimes it helps to read reviews, see why people like this book. Yeah, what is Bookmeter? That's a good question. I was gonna maybe introduce it one time. Bookmeter's a very good site for seeing what people read and for discovering books. Takamura, konnichiwa. And I kind of wanted to do like an episode on it one time, where I just kind of like show my Bookmeter. It shows all the books I've read, and you can find books there. If you know like Goodreads, I think there's one. It's like an English site for like showing the books you've read and finding new books. You can do reviews for books. It's like that, but it's for Japanese people. It's in Japanese. Takamura, I'm well. How are you? Les says, I enjoyed the Erased manga. Cool. Yeah, I highly recommend Bookmeter, and I was going to do like maybe a Japanese Quest episode, at least partially on it. But, I don't know, maybe I should just show it. It is very useful in my opinion. Like, certain things have helped me to encourage my habit of reading Japanese every day over the years. Bookmeter recently has become one of them in like the past year or so. Kindle books on Amazon Japan. So reading Amazon books has been one of them. One thing, the Kindle app, it has like a streak that you keep up, so it encourages you to read every day. Apex says I'd be interested to see it. And let's see what I can find. Let's see here, 1 second. Alright, let me show you the Bookmeter site really quickly, just because it is really cool in my opinion, and it can be really helpful. Let me just show you some of the key features on it. Okay, so here is the Bookmeter site. You can see I have my own account for Akira-sensei here. I was gonna maybe show it one time, but I guess I'm showing it now. And so what you do, this is the kind of homepage. You can follow people and see what they read. These are some people I'm following, but I really don't use that part of the site that much. The part of the site I do use is a few different parts. So you have your own page, and other people have their own page. So you can go to My Pagey. And so this shows all the books that you've read. And so these are the most recent books that I've read. I just read Penguin Highway, like I said. I read all these other books recently. In total, I've read 204 books. You can put all the books you've read. It shows how many pages you've read. It shows when I started, 2015. Actually, that's not true. On this site, I registered about a year ago, you can see, last May. But I was able to backdate from this other list I had from when I started reading books and registering those. That was in 2015. So 60,000 pages, not too bad. And it can currently yonderu hon. These are the books I'm currently reading. Like I just mentioned, this Kagami no Kojo. The Mirror in the Castle. And these other books I'm reading too. The main one I'm reading right now is this one. These are two I took up from the library. But I've been kind of slacking at reading my library books. I prefer oftentimes Kindle books. This is a book I have physically too. This is a book I have physically at home. This is one that is actually on the Shosetsu site, so it's like a free book, a web novel. Even though I registered the Amazon version, I'm reading the free version of it. Sometimes I do that because it's basically the same book. These are books that I have on my shelf. Sundoku means books on your shelf. Yomitai hon, books that you want to read. And I don't necessarily read all these. I haven't updated it recently. So that's one cool part. You make your own page. You can like people. People like you. You can follow what they read. Over time, you can see how many you read. You can also make bookshelves, which is pretty cool. So I say like my top 20 books ever. I have here too. You can see Kino's Journey up there, Battle Royale, Konbini Ningen, Convenience Store Person, very good. I like the Slime book, 1Q84 I enjoyed, some other books I enjoyed. You can say my top 15 for 2020. You can make different lists like this. I'm working on a list too for good first books to read in Japanese, so that's part of why I haven't really shared this officially yet, but I guess now I'm kind of sharing it. The other really good thing, I was mentioning the kind of the ranking just on the site. Where's the ranking anyway? Where is the ranking? There's a ranking that I like on the site, and I'm not totally sure where all those things are. Game Grammar's rating. Welcome, Game Grammar. Thank you for rating. Right now we're showing off this website, Book Meter. Very good for reading books. You can make a page to show what you've read. And I'm wondering, Book Meter ranking. Where is the Book Meter ranking in here? I should know this. Yomitai hon, books you want to read. So yeah, welcome everyone to Game Grammar. What we do here, we learn Japanese from Japanese games. But right now I'm showing off a new website that I'm just recommending for reading books. It can be very helpful. You can do community. Is this the ranking? Here we go. So welcome. So yeah, this is a good one. So hon o sagasu. So if you're looking for books, here's the ranking. This can be very helpful. You can also search for books. So ranking in Japanese. In katakana you can see there. Click on that. So, this is why I found this book. This is why I'm reading this book now. Because it's the #1 ranking for bunko books. This is kind of like the books that are like now in paperback. The really tiny ones often you can find in Japan. #1 was this book. So I clicked on it. And I read the reviews. That's why this site's really good. You can read why Japanese people like these books. And the reason I started reading this book is I read these reviews. And I'm a Japanese teacher. And this book is kind of about people who... Yeah, this review in particular convinced me to read this book. Gakko ni ikenaku natta koromo no kimochi. So this is the key. The feelings of people who can no longer go to school. The feelings of their parents. Oya no kimochi. Ryoho. So both of them. Maybe I'll put in my Rikai Queen so people can see what I'm talking about here. So Ryoho, both sides. Rikai dekiru. You can understand both sides from reading this book. So because of this review, even though I didn't like the book at first from the free sample, I started reading it again. And so this book I'm reading now, it's called Kagami no Kojo, The Solitary Castle. The cool thing too, you can get a free sample of the book here from Book Meter, or if you click on this book here, it brings you to the Amazon, where you can get a free sample there or buy the book. So yeah, highly recommend this book. You can follow other people, you can see like people who your affinity is close to. It can bring you back again to my page. Again, this shows all the books I've read, 204 books. And I don't know, you can maybe find my page on here if you want to follow it. You can see what books I'm reading. Anyway, highly recommend this site. It's called Book Meter, and it can just help you be motivated to read Japanese books. Let's see the first book I ever read. So we can do Motto Miru. You can see more of them. We can go back. Let's go to the Saigo, the end of all the books I've read. Let's see the first books I read. Here we go. First book I ever read in Japanese. Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Murakami. The reason I read it is because I already read it in English in college. This one too, I read in English, so my first 4 books were like halves of Murakami books. And next, what did I do? Next, I read all the Harry Potter books. Why? Because I knew that story. Never had read them in English, but I read all those books. Next, I read this book. Didn't like it. Next, I read Lodoss Wars because I liked Lodoss Wars anime. And then I found the book that I really, really liked. Kino's Journey. And you'll notice I read all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What next? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then Kino's Journey ended. I had read every book at that time that existed, but now there are like 5 more. I read those 2. And then I just read other books, kept reading, read every day. These books are good. Read real Japanese, recommend those. Look, new Kino came out, read that again. Then what? More books. Breaking into Japanese literature, those books are good. This book was super hard. Didn't like that book so much. Short stories about Mount Fuji. The same author as the Kino writer. I like them so much. I read their other books. Allison is called, also pretty good. Kitchen by Banana. Banana Kishimoto, I believe. Good books. Battle Royale, really like those books. Bochan by Soseki, very difficult, older book. Didn't like it so much. Kept reading Allison, also by the writer of Kino. Read about Manzai, really liked that book because I love comedy. Manzai's like a comedy duo. More books by the same author of Kino. Next I read... these good books are great. Short stories by this master of short story writing. Boko-chan. Good books. Kept reading. What next? Read a book on philosophy. That was good. More books by the writer of the Kino books. For a while, read about law, because I was thinking I'd do some legal translation. Didn't end up doing too much of it, but I read the Constitution of Japan. Also, stuff about laws in Japan. Then more books from Kino writer, which is more fun. As you can see, I read a lot of them. Then I read Kimi no Nawa, very good book. This elephant book is good. Kind of an elephant teaching you about what's important in life. Then I read the slime books, which I think mostly I read free online on the Shosetsu website. Then what did I do? Read more slime. Those slime books are pretty good, I thought. Read more slime. Read the new Kino. More short stories by that same master of short stories. Then got into another long series, Mushoku Tensei, which now has an anime going on right now. Again, these are free novels on the Shosetsu site. Where do we go next? Whole bunch of those. I threw in some short stories in the middle, again by that master of short stories. Read a whole bunch more of those, because there's a lot of those books. I recommend finding long series and just keep reading. By the end of it, you can feel like you can read anything. This book by Takeshi Kitano I enjoyed. This book was some poems that I enjoyed. Poetry I also recommend. This book I liked but stopped reading because I started to not like it so much. This is about a girl who is in another world and starts making books because in this world they have no books. Got an anime now too. What else? Little Prince. New Kino came out, read it. Every new Kino, I will read it right away. And what else? Didn't like these books so much. This book on artificial AI was kind of cool though, I think. What else? Yeah, another Murakami book with short stories. What else? Konbini Ningen, loved this book. Highly recommended, good first book. Convenience store person, very good book. Finally, we're almost up to current. We are now... Pretty good book. Kimi no Suizo o Tabetai. I want to eat your pancreas. Good book. I see it often recommended. I also like books on writing. So how to write well. Wakariyasui. That's what you want. To write so it's easy to read. These books are good. GJ Boo I saw recommended on the Learn Japanese subreddit for a first book. They're all short stories. They're all short, easy. Good first book. Recommend these. More books by, I think, the writer of Kimi no Nawa. I read that here and here. Like Tenki no Ko, their new movie. New Kino, of course, I read too. Another short story book by Kino. That one was quite good, I think. 1Q84, really enjoyed. Just a big kind of adventure, which I like. Raging Loop, I love the game so much, had to read the books. Game is better, but books were good too if you like the game. Abe Kobo discovered. Woman in the Dunes, good book. Suna no Onna. Also read Yukiguni, even an older author, but also good, challenging. And then up to current. Anyway, more good books, more good books. If you want to check out my page, maybe you can find it, maybe you can't, I don't know. Another Kino up there. And then finally up to current, what do we got? Some more good books. Good first book, Kuma 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 Bear. You can find the free web version too if you look on Shosetsu, the Shosetsu website. And this is a free book. You can find free books on Amazon. Recommend that. You can find free old books here. This is a good book because it's only like one page. And, The Sheep King. Those books were good. No, not Sheep King. Deer King. Shika no O. And then finally, just read Penguin Highway. Didn't like it, but probably could be a good first book because it's fairly easy. Recently, I've been reading some books that are kind of an easy, good first book because I want to make a list for those books. Buta Buta was a quite good series for that. These are books that Japanese people said is a good first book for Japanese people, but maybe could be for learners as well. The number one book on that list was Colorful, also has an anime movie. I liked this book. Buta Buta I liked too. I read this because it's also on that list. Penguin Highway. Didn't like that so much personally, but maybe you'll like it. Anyway, that brings us up to current. Let's go back to the game. Sorry that got long. Probably lost a lot of people, but let's get back to the game.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power
So,
level?
how do you search for a specific genre? I don't know, but I think you can. Gotta search around. And, yeah, Shosetsu is the site that I keep referencing. Thank you, yeah. Thank you for linking that. Thank you, Game Grammar. By the way, check out Game Grammar, awesome Japanese teacher teaching Japanese through games as well, just like we do. The Bookworm anime was so good, I'd love to read the novel. Bookworm anime, yeah, I do like that series. I read the first few, but then eventually, I don't know why I stopped reading it. It just like, I don't know. There was something in it that started to not be as fun. For me, reading it anyway, but yeah, I've not read that. I read another book by that same author, but I'd like to read that someday, probably. But still, I haven't read that many pre-war books, so like pre-war books for me are still pretty challenging, just because a lot of the kanji you don't see these days. It's just pretty challenging. But yeah, for Kino's Journey, it just helped me a lot because I liked the series so much that like when I read all of them that existed at the time, by the time I finished it, I felt like I could read anything. It gave me just the confidence and the comfortable feeling with Japanese I could read anything now, even though those older books still, pre-war, the kanji is so different, you don't see them now, that it was a lot more challenging. But in general, it felt like I could read a lot. And yeah, the cool thing about those older books, like is being linked by Game Grammar, they are free. You can find them on this website, Aozora. Yeah, thanks Game Grammar, and again, thanks again for the host. Really do appreciate that, and now we will actually play video games. But that was a big question. Felt like we might as well answer some of that. Kind of just rushed through the books I've read in the past 6 years. Hopefully that was helpful to someone. Ja, matane, see you later Game Grammar, thanks again for the host. And everyone click on their name. Great Japanese teacher, worth checking out. Yeah, I mean, check out the anime. If you dig the anime, maybe you'll dig the manga or the original, the light novel. You can always just check it out in an easy way to just get a sense of it in the anime. If you don't dig the vibe of it, don't read it. If you do, give it a shot. Get a free sample. That's the really good thing about all these web books. You can get a free sample, whether on Amazon or on BookMeter. Just get a feel for the free sample. If you like it, get it. Keep reading it. If you don't, find something else. Alright, so where were we? Yeah, colorful. Yeah, did you see that I mentioned that? I read that recently. It's a good book. It's a good book. And I'm working on a list of good first books. Kino would be on there. Colorful would for sure be on there. Kimi no Nawa, Your Name would for sure be on there. This book I just read, Penguin Highway, might be on there, but since I didn't like it, I think I'm not going to put it on there. Because I didn't like it. I don't know. It'd be my list, so I'm not going to put it on there. But, what else would be on there? I'll have to find out what will be on there. Yeah, Kuma Kuma Bear would for sure be on there. Because you can find the free web novel out there. It's a very easy book compared to a lot of books. Yep. Level up your Japanese. So many awesome books. That's why this is a cool language to learn. There's really a lot of good content. If you're into this kind of content, you might as well read it in the original language. You can get a lot out of it. I would not be learning this language or reading this language if there wasn't enough content to support my reading habit, but luckily there is. Like, I admit, there are sometimes books in English that I wish I could kind of read in Japanese, but don't exist in Japanese. That happens sometimes. There's so many good books in English. But there's enough good books in Japanese that are new, that keep coming out, that I have enough to just read Japanese. English books I tend to just... Sometimes I'll like skim the highlights of them, but in general I've been reading only Japanese books for the past 6 years. Oh well, my whole idea for doing a stream around Japanese reading or a video around Japanese reading, I guess I could still do that, but I guess I kind of just did that now. Oh well. Yeah, I think just having a habit of reading every day, whether it's English or Japanese, is a really helpful habit. Just like this new habit I kind of started has been really good for me. This habit, I've been going on a walk outside, kind of a hike in a way, every day. Recently trying to do at least like an hour a day. That's been a really good habit for me too. I've been feeling overall just kind of more genki, more healthy. I feel like it's helped my reading habit even. All these kind of good habits I feel like kind of help each other. I feel like I don't want to control Jason anymore because I forget to heal if I'm controlling him. So let's go to techniques. I think I don't need to control these people. These people can kind of do their own thing, I think, if they just gambare it. I trust them. Yeah, food culture can be a big one too. Ooh, Horhim, that's a good question. For the books you've read in both English and Japanese, which version did you like more? Yeah, it was kind of weird. The first two books I read were these Murakami books I had read in English. The first book I read, I think just because it was my first book, I didn't enjoy that much, even though it was my favorite Murakami book. That was Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. I didn't like it that much in Japanese, but the next one I read in Japanese, I think your second book is much easier than your first book for reading Japanese, so I liked it a lot more. Even though I liked the other one better when I read it in English, it's kind of confusing. It kind of flipped. But I think in a way it's probably because I read it second. Wait a minute, I just realized Hendrik is under her dress? What is going on here? So yeah, the books get better, the books get easier as you keep reading. Yeah, I just realized her dress is a cage. That was kind of odd. Let's see, so my page, I'm looking at my page on that site again. was thinking maybe it'd be good to link my page. Where is my page anyway? Let's go back to my page here. So browser cam. So this is my page. Let's go to my page, and then if anyone wants to follow my page, I think I can probably link you in chat. You can follow what books I'm reading. You can kind of see what this website's like. You can join the site yourself, follow people. It can really, I've found, help encourage the habit of reading in Japanese, because you can see in real time the pages go up. You have this graph that kind of keeps going up. You can do Motto Miru to see kind of even more. You can see all these different books you've read. Anyway, you can kind of look at yourself too. You can see, yep, how many books you've read when you started. You can see the books you're currently reading, all this stuff. So let me link this page for you, and you can find just the normal page too, I think. But here's my page. If you want to follow me, you can. Let's put this in chat. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Do you recommend rereading the same book a few times? I have not done that, personally. But yeah, I think it could be good. So I think this should be my link to my profile if you want to see Akira-sensei, what I'm currently reading. You can see it. You can see it there. Want to see every book I've read in order? You can see it there if you make an account. It's just a good way to encourage reading every day. You can see what Japanese people are reading. The link is working. Good to hear. And it looks like here on Twitter, we've got some more likes for this. And we've got some more bells. What are these bells about? Got some new people followed us. Nice. You can like that. Ooh, nice. Game in Japanese. Link to what we do. Retweet it. Cool. If anyone wants to retweet, you can. Sweet. Let's go back to the game. That's not the game. It's the words we're adding. Let's find new words. Let's level up in Japanese today. But yep, link to the book meter if you want to check it out. Even if you're on YouTube, if you type in this link, maybe I can put the link when this video finally does come out. Find this link. We can find out what I'm currently reading. We can find out maybe what you're currently reading. Who knows? I think you can make groups on there. We could even make like a Japanese group someday if people dig it. We'll see. I think personally I joined two groups. One group was for the Learn Japanese subreddit group, I believe, and one group was for Japanese people for like a favorite lines in different books. That's a cool group too, but I haven't looked into it recently, to be honest. But what I do, every time I finish a new book, I update my book meter. So book meter knows now how many books I've read. The graph is updated. And it tells you how many kind of pages you've been reading a day, stuff like that. Yeah. And it even shows you, like, when Japanese people reread books, they often reread books too. Rereading books can be great. I just haven't personally done it yet. So far, I've not reread books in Japanese. Like, I've reread, like, parts of books, but not the full book. So far, I kind of like the feeling of new books moving the adventure forward. Yeah, that's a really good, it's just a really good website. The thing I mainly read it for, I mainly use it when I'm finding a new book. It's the best site for me to find a new book. Because I can find people who liked books that I liked, see what books they're reading, or see like the popular books now, and then read reviews and see why they like it, why they're reading it, and then you can find a free sample for it. Like sometimes I find books through Amazon itself, because reviews there can be helpful too, but I find book meter reviews and book meter people and networking to be even better to find books. Like, why are there just like all these weird cage creatures roaming the field here? I don't know what's going on here. Why is this just overrun with these cage people? I do not know what's going on. Yosh. Okay, I think it's finally time to go in this town, and finally time to advance the story somewhat. We got deep into books, now it's time to get deep into the story of this game. This game's great for Japanese because it's got a lot of voice lines, it's got furigana above the kanji. And let's see some of it. Let's add some new words up here. What we do on Japanese Quest, we add new words. Our power level goes up. Let's find some new words to add today. So here's Sylvia.
不思議なものね。この町には二度と来るまいと思ってたのに、まさかこんな風に帰ってくるなんて。
Huh. So this is strange, isn't it? Fushigi, strange, good word. So kono machi ni wa, so in this town, nido to kurumai to motte datta no ni. So I thought I would never set foot in this town again. I kind of made it a bit more fancy with set foot in, just as kuru, to come. I thought I'd never come to this town again. So, can't believe we're coming back to this town this way. I guess, what is this way? Full parade. The world's kind of been destroyed, so kind of an interesting situation. Sophie wants to grew
あれがパパの
up
屋
here.
敷よ。だけど、ちょっと心の準備をしたいから先に行ってて。
Huh, okay. So this is important. Finally, after many years, Sylvia is going to meet her papa. They've had some kind of huge fight in the past. And we can see the yashiki, the mansion of the papa here. And yeah, but first, kokoro no junbi. So junbi is preparations, kokoro is heart. So Sylvia must first prepare their heart for seeing their father again after so many years. So I think that means we're going here. So where's that mansion? Down here? Yep. Let's see. I like it. They even have like a nice little garden here. Adam Bird, yokoso. Japanese Quest, welcome. We're enjoying the garden here. But in this mansion, we will be learning some Japanese too. That's what we do normally. Anyone else who wants to follow, you can join us on this quest. This Japanese quest. We are all here Japanese learners and Japanese teachers learning Japanese from Japanese games. Let's find some words inside this mansion, perhaps. So I think we probably can go in now. This is, I think, where that guy lives. Let's try. Alright, a stick.
師匠、グレイグでございます。久方ぶりです。
Eh? He's his master. I forgot about that. Shisho. Master. It is me, Greg. It's been a long time.
はあ？おお、グレイグじゃねえか。てめえが修行を終えて町を旅立ってからもう十数年か。近くに来て面見せろ。
Okay, so now we know how long it's been, probably, since Greg did meet Sylvia the first time. So it's been Jusunen. So I believe that's like 10 and a few years So junen would be like 10 years. Sunen, like a few years. Junen, 10 years. So I'm guessing it's like been, I don't know, 12 years since he trained here. So maybe when he was a kid or fairly young. So yeah, come close so I can see your face.
てめえの活躍は散々聞いてるぜ。図体でけえだけが取り柄だったてめえが今やデルカダールの英雄様だ。
Interesting. So yeah, I've heard all about your exploits, your achievements. The word here, katsuyaku. Good word. We probably learned it. If not, that could go up here. But it may turn green because it might be a duplicate. And zutai deke. So your body was big. And dake. So that, you being big was basically your only skill back then. But now, so ima, you are the hero of Dundrasil. Eiyu, this word hero. So he's come a long way. So I guess he was not a great warrior when he first started here. He must have been quite young.
思ったよりお元気そうで何よりです。師匠の下で騎士道を教わっていなければ、今の私はありえなかったでしょう。
Yeah, you can edit it, like someone just did up here. Added a new word. The word they added was worth, merit, value, good point. Torie, good word. So his good point back then was he's only just big, but now he's kind of a great warrior. He's this great hero. Yeah, it's linked in the section of Twitch that says power up, level up, new words here. I think Tifa you might see around there because she is powering up as well. So yeah, the fact that you are healthy is the most important thing. If I had not been taught by you the way of the night, here's the word for the way of the night. Again, do, the kanji for michi, just like in judo, bushido, all those different dos. Kishido, the way of the night. If I had not learned the way of the night from you, I would not be where I am now. Yep, there's a link in the Discord, link on the Twitch page too.
ここを旅立って多くのことがありました。16年前のユグノアの悲劇に始まり、先日の大樹の落下、そして今や魔王が。
So since I left, a lot has happened. So 16 years ago, 16年前, there was this the tragedy of this kingdom, and recently the great tree fell, and now the Dark Lord, Mao, the Dark Lord, is kind of ruling the world right now.
そういえばシルビアはどうしたのだ。私は師匠と話しているから、ちょっと様子を見てきてくれないか。
By the way, how is Sylvia? I will talk to my master for a bit. Could you check on Sylvia? So yosu o miru. So could you look, see how Sylvia is doing? Yosu is kind of like the situation, the condition, see how Sylvia is doing. We can check on that. And yeah, let's look at our power level up screen, because we did power up a couple words. I didn't notice the other one at first, but check it out. So Katsuyaku, activity. So we talked about Greg's activities over the years. His master had heard about it, and also we talked about what he's good at. Torie, worth, merit, value. redeeming feature. Originally, just being big was his only redeeming feature, but now he's been well trained by his master, it seems. So currently, power level has gone up to 3,024. Let's make that go up. Look at the bottom right. Power level is going up right now.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Yosh. Alright, so I guess they'll have a talk, master to student. So he is saying... Wait a minute, went away. Yeah, he's heard about it, about the Yusha. And now he's traveling with us. Anyway, they're talking about kind of our journey now, it looks like. So can we get any treasure in here? Ooh, we got something. I think that was like grape extract. Yosh, I think we got some new recipes, so that's good. Can we take a plate? Ooh, I like the shine on those plates. I like games where the plates shine. So Sylvia was out here, I believe. Shozoga portrait. The wall is decorated by a portrait we see there. Sylvia's mom, perhaps? Don't know. Where is Sylvia? Okay, so cool. I bet you by the sea. That's a good place to think. Yeah, it's true, we must have... To keep your arm up that much would take some serious arm muscle. Is this person doing okay? These people just going around this lady? Daijoubu. Okay. Tenchi Tachi. Angels are circling me. Are the angels finally coming for me? Alright. Interesting. Yep, I was right. This is the place to do your thinking. Looks like Sylvia down there, don't you think? Nice view, good place for thinking. Good place for thinking about a reunion with your long-lost, estranged father.
Ah, そっか。私を探しに来てくれたのね。
Okay, we finally found Sylvia. And once in a while, I think it's kind of fun to try... The party members, other than me, can try to translate what we see on the board, because we're going to get into it. So I will say, I will be right back after a short break, and let's see if people in chat, other party members, can translate what Sylvia said right here. Looks like a pretty doable one, pretty short. Let's see a short different translation options. So Japanese Quest will be back after a short break, and see if you can't translate that for a challenge. I'll play a short ad here too. Itekimasu, Japanese Quest will be back. See if you can translate what Sylvia said there. Tadaima. So let's see. Some people made some translations. Looks good. And yeah, looks like some good translations. Push-ups. Who's been doing push-ups? Yeah, the main character. Probably so. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of comments. Hard to read all of them. But where are we? Okay, so let's see how my translation might line up with some of the people who made translations. Yeah, it is so quiet without the music, isn't it? Okay. So, Akira-chan. そうか。私を探しに来てくれたのね。ああ、Akira. So you came, I see, so you came looking for me, more or less. Yeah, I did 20 push-ups in the break and then one slow push-up where I held it at the bottom. I also did, I think, 20 jumping jacks. So yeah, I do recommend push-ups during break. And in general, when you take breaks in your life, push-ups, jumping jacks, I have found can be good. Maybe find your own exercise, but some kind of exercise during breaks can be good.
実はね、私あなたと再会できたらウルノーガと戦うって心に決めてたの。
実はね, so to tell you the truth, so once I re-met with you, saikai means to like have a reunion, so when I met with you again, I decided that I would be fighting against Morrigan. In Japanese, it's not Morrigan, it's the villain of the game, Urunoga.
だけどパレードのみんなを預けるためにパパと会う決心がなかなかつかなかったの。プチャラオ村の親子を見るまでは。
Interesting. だけど, but the parade that I've been leading, to leave everyone in the parade with my papa. So the resolution to do that, here's the word for resolution. Keshin. Keshin ga nakanaka tsukanakatta. So I still, even though I joined you, was not able to make that resolution to leave the people in the parade with my father. And basically, what I couldn't do was to meet my father. Papa to ao. To meet my father. The decision to do that, I couldn't do it. At least until, made means until I met that father and son in the last village. Yokoso, Japanese Quest. Welcome to Japanese Quest. Japanese and fitness. It's pretty easy. All you gotta do is do each of them every day. J plus E, Japanese plus exercise, or maybe Japanese plus English, whatever your goal is, whatever your thing is, just make it a habit, do it every day, and slowly you will start leveling up. This is the bad drawing of leveling up. That's how it seems to work. Alright, so where are we now? We are here. Nice! I'm literally doing both right now. Can you tell us specifically what you're doing? Because yeah, I recommend exercise during stream, learn Japanese during stream, do Anki, maybe, learning vocab during stream. Lots of options. I very much have a both and philosophy in life. A lot of people have a either or kind of philosophy, but usually both and is the situation. You can do something and you can do something else. It doesn't have to be learning Japanese or learning something else. You probably can learn both. So both and good philosophy. Exercise and learn Japanese. You can do both. Exactly. Exactly. Just watching you and doing some basic exercises, went for a walk, nothing crazy. That's good. Don't go crazy. Unless you want to. Crazy can be good. At
話
times.
し合えば分かり合える。そう覚悟を決めてここまで来たんだけど、やっぱりパパと会うのが怖くてね。
Yappari. Yappari. So as expected, Papa to ao ga kowai. Kowai, scary. Kowakute ne. So yeah, I'm scared to meet my father, even though I was prepared to do it. If we talk, maybe we can understand each other. Yeah, this has been talked about. Put Japanese Quest as a treadmill. That has been discussed. I don't have a treadmill though. Might be hard. The setup that I have is a bit elaborate. Might be challenging with a treadmill.
私がこの町の出身だって話したことあったかしら。
So, I am from this town. Had I mentioned that before? The key word here? Shushin. Where you're from. So did I ever tell you this town is where I'm from?
そうグレイグが言ったのね。聞いての通り、私は子供の頃から騎士になるべく徹底的に鍛え上げられた。
Yeah, it's like Greg said. So like you heard from when I was a child, this is a useful phrase. So kodomo means child. Koro means like the time. Kara means from. So from the time I was a child. Kodomo no koro kara. So from the time I was a child. Kishi ni narubeku tettei teki ni kitae agerareta. So yeah, basically the key word is knight. I was brought up, trained seriously as a knight. Yeah, sasaga kind of roughly means as expected. So tette tekini, like you see here, means thoroughly, exhaustively, completely. So I was thoroughly trained as a knight. Thanks for adding new
だ
word.
から私はずっとこの町で騎士として生きていくものだと思ってた。そんな時だったわ。サーカス団が来たのは。
Ah, interesting. So I thought that I would always be here and live as a knight. So kishi is knight. Kishi toshite, as a knight. Kishi toshite, ikiru, to live as a knight. I thought I'd always be living as a knight. Is there a rule for when it's Goto, when it's Koto? Probably. There's kind of a rule for everything. Probably some kind of rule, but I don't know it. Don't care. If someone knows it, you can be more helpful. And I know I'm a Japanese teacher, but sometimes certain things, doesn't really matter that much. Just keep going forward. And how does mono work in this sentence? Kishi toshite kite iku mono da to omotte ita. 私はずっとこの町で騎士として生きているものだと。I believe Mono is functioning here like as a person. I would be a person who'd be living here as a knight my whole life. So I believe it's functioning as like I thought I'd be a person living here my whole life. So sono toki datta wa, it was that time that the circus came. The circus arrived. Yeah, there's so many rules out there. And I find like even Japanese people, if you ask them, they won't know. They'll just say, it is that way. So many questions, I feel very free to just say like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't care. And sometimes that's just the way it is. But oftentimes if you Google it, you can find insight on some of these things. Some things maybe not, but when in doubt, Google it. Oftentimes, Google will know a lot more than any Japanese teacher will. So let's see. Welcome to Japanese Quest, new party member. Sweet. Let's keep going. So I thought I'd always live here, and then the circus arrived. Ah, yokoso. Japanese Quest away. Welcome to Japanese Quest.
そのサーカスのショー、とにかく面白くって不思議と体の中から力が湧いてくるの。私はサーカスのパワーに見せられたの。
So when the circus came to town, anyway, it was really interesting. 面白い. So the circus was really interesting. So strangely, my body, I felt like 力が湧いてくる. So power welled up in my body. I was taken in. I was entranced by the power of the circus. It's the power here in katakana. And then miserareta kind of means to be like entranced or charmed by the circus.
そして私は確信したわ。笑顔は人を強くする。私の騎士道はこれだってね。
Huh. So Atashi no Kishido. So my way of the night was that, I realized. Smiles. Just like the circus would bring smiles, I realized that is my way of the night. So I was certain. Atashi wa kakushin shita. So I was certain. Egao wa, so smiles. Egao is smiles. Smiles make people stronger. Like they kind of made me stronger in that moment. I realized my way of the night was that. The circus, smiles, all of that. And yeah, really good comment here by Winter. Also by Tebi. A lot of exceptions to rules, that's true. Yeah, sometimes people ask me why a specific English sentence is structured that way. I just reply with, I got used to it. Yeah, really learning a language is that way. Oftentimes questions are good, but they might not always have an answer, and that's okay too. A big part of it is simply just getting used to it. You get used to it. If you think about everything in English or your native language, you may not know every answer to every question, that's fine. But you're used to it. You know how it works intuitively. And the way you do that is expose yourself to the language over time. We always say mainichi, mainichi, every day, every day. Just keep exposing yourself to more of whatever language it is you want to learn.
いても立ってもいられなくなって、今の私に必要なのは旅芸人の修行だってパパに打ち明けたら当然のように反対されて。
So yeah. So I realized what I needed then was training as a traveling performer. When I finally confessed that to my father, as you can expect, he was opposed to it. So hantai suru is to be opposed to something. Hantai sarete is the passive form of that, so my father was opposed to me becoming a traveling performer. Good word here, uchiakeru. To kind of confess something to someone. I confessed my dream of being a circus performer, traveling performer, to my father, so I wanted training for that.
その時言ってやったのよ。世界中の人たちみんなを笑顔にできるような私にしかできない騎士道を極めてやる。
So at that time, I said it. So my way of the night, I will master my way of the night, and that is to make people smile that only I can make smile. Atashi ni shika dekinai kishiro. So yeah, my way of the night that only I can do, I will master that. And that is something that can make everyone smile. So minna o egao ni dekiru. Again, egao is smile, make everyone smile, and that's a kind of way of the night that only I can do. So ever since then, Sylvia, I guess, left and went perfecting their way of the night. So some new words here. Uchiakeru. To confide, to reveal, to disclose, to lay bare, to speak frankly, like Sylvia did to their father back then. And then kiwameru, I think would be the verb, but yeah, kiwamete can be exceedingly. But I feel like it would be here kiwameru, like the thru verb, which means to kind of... In fact, let's look it up in the dictionary for fun. Let's take a look. Kiwameru. To carry to extremes, to go to the end of something, to investigate thoroughly, to master. Yeah, I think that's kind of what Sylvia is doing. To master their way of the night, which is bringing people smiles, mastering the way of the warrior and the way of the entertainer. And with our Rikai-kun tool, we can copy this to clipboard and add it to our power level right here. And yeah, why don't we add both of these? Can mean exceedingly, can also mean, with the thru verb, to make up one's mind. Wait a minute, it says kimeru? Wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. It's more kiwameru, to carry to extremes. Let's copy that one. Sometimes Rikai does things we don't want. There we go. Power level is now 3028. Let's make that power level go up.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is rising. One word, power level goes up by 1.
それまで絶対に帰らない
Until then, I will not come home. Huh, so maybe they've mastered their way of the night then now. There's a ya in between. What does it do? Don't know, because I don't see it anymore, but ya, it can mean and etc. So maybe it meant that, not sure. Sorry, not more helpful to every question all the time. But part of it is moving forward.
屋敷が壊れるくらいパパと大喧嘩して私はこの町を飛び出したってわけ
Really, wow. So I had such a big fight with my father that our house was almost destroyed. And then I left the village. I left the town. So yashiki, again, is like mansion or house. Yashiki ga kowareru. So the mansion was destroyed, but it's not actually destroyed, it's just kurai. So that means to the extent that it could be destroyed, we had a really big fight. How do you say big fight? Well, kenka is fight, and then ogenka is a big fight with who? With my father. So papa to ogenka shite, and then left the village.
おセンチな話しちゃったわね
Osenshi na hanashi shichatta. Huh. This is not a word I've seen before very much. Possibly ever. Let's look it up. I'm a Japanese teacher, but there are plenty of words I don't know, and it's kind of fun when I find words I don't know, because I know most of the words in this game, as you can see from us learning from it. But osenshi, what is that about? Ah, that makes sense. So senshi, like sentimental. So it's katakana for like senshi, sentimental. That's why I don't know it. It's a weird kind of katakana word. Interesting. Osenshi, sentimental, not a common word. So we're not going to add it to our list. But you know what? That's kind of a cool word because it's senshi, sentimental. Why don't we add that to our list anyway, just for fun? I'm not totally sure how rare it is since I didn't know it. But if I don't know a word, generally it's a word you probably don't need to know. But that one's pretty easy to learn since it's katakana. And given the moment, it's a very sentimental conversation. So yeah, cool little word. Osenshi. So sentimental, good word. Osenshi na hanashi shichatta wa ne. So sorry for the sentimental conversation. Yeah, I know Unboxes, but like if you think about my vocab, I know well over like 20,000, 30,000 words. Like from the tests I've done, I know roughly how many words a Japanese native speaker might know. So in general, words I don't know, I don't add them. I simply don't. But this one sounds kind of cool, so let's add it anyway. Since we add word variants too, we'll have no problem getting to 9,000 with the words I know. But let's add this one because it is a cool word. But yeah, you're right. But I do also like sometimes not adding every word because we added just like every little bit of everything that we see. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a word that's worth knowing, but this word seems cool. Let's add it. So sorry for the sentimental conversation, and let's go back.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is rising. Power level is currently... What is our power level? 30-30, almost 30-30. We have to get up to 30-30. I don't want to even say our power level right now or update it until we get to 30-30 because that's a good round, repeated 30-30. Seems like a power level we should be at.
でもあなたとお話ししてたらなんだか勇気が湧いてきたわ。
But talking to you, I feel like courage is welling up in me again. I feel like courage. So yuki, courage, and then waku kind of can mean to like boil up, or in a person. Courage is kind of, I don't know, how would you translate in chat? Courage is I don't know, welling up in you. Courage is rising in someone. I don't know. English is hard. Japanese is easy. So yeah, learn Japanese. It's easier than English. Is it really? Probably not, but let's go with it. Sometimes I think just thinking something is easy, even if it's not. Sometimes thinking something is easy, making it less of a big deal, can be helpful. There's a point when I lived in Japan, I just decided, what if instead of this being difficult, Japanese was actually really easy? And then I just kind of thought that for 9 months, studied for N2, passed N2. It kind of helped just to think, what if actually Japanese is really easy? I mean, there's incredibly stupid people that are totally fluent in this language. Any language. What if every language is just super easy? Yeah, it's helpful. Anyway. Yep, courage is building. That sounds good. How much time did it take for you to learn in Japanese, to think in Japanese? I don't know, because I don't totally know what that means. There's a lot of shades to thinking in Japanese, but how much time did it take you? I don't know, at least half an hour.
よし、パパに会いに行きましょう。
So let's go meet my father. Because I guess the courage now talking to us has been built up. It has emerged. Yosh, we got some red coral. Akai is red, Sango is coral. Akai Sango. How much time did it take for you to think in Japanese? I feel like since the first time I heard Japanese, it probably took me, yeah, I feel like about a half an hour. But probably I was thinking in Japanese at a very basic level. So I think to think in Japanese doesn't take that long. But for more deeper thoughts that you might be referring to, it might have taken a bit longer. Yeah, this is certainly true. This is one thing that makes Japanese a challenge. Very different from English. But that's also part of the fun of it. It's probably the reason I studied Japanese rather than Spanish. It was so different that it almost didn't feel like a language at first when I was learning it. It kind of felt like when I was drawing kanji, I was just like drawing like pictures. It almost didn't feel like a language at the low, very, very low level. But that in a way made it more fun, and that kind of lured me in the beginning. Whereas Spanish, I took it, and it just seemed really hard, probably because we were learning more, and I didn't like it. But in a way, learning Japanese kind of slowly, easing in at first, I think helped me keep going. And then eventually, I learned much more, obviously, and much faster. But I think the fun feeling is still there. It's kind of fun because it's different. Because it's something quite different from English. And yeah, there's a truth to that too. And not even just languages. If you learn Japanese, a lot of other things in life I feel like can become easy. And I've had that experience for other things in my life too. Do something hard is my pro tip. For example, I did wrestling as a sport. After you do wrestling, a lot of things become easy too. If you do Japanese, a lot of things become easy. So I recommend do something hard. Something's hard that I've done. Wrestling, Japanese. Do something hard. Everything else becomes kind of easy. Kind of levels you up as a person. Another one, go to a bank in Japan. Everything else becomes easy after you go to a bank and have to use a bank in Japan. Banks in Japan, super confusing. Yep, we've made it to the 3000s. Good to see you, Mama Luigi. Are you like the mom of Luigi? I never thought about that before, but that would be pretty cool. I had never thought about Luigi's mom. Luigi, Mario, do they have different moms or the same mom? I know like the Mario brothers, but are they actually full brothers? I don't know. According to the live-action film, yeah, I'm not sure if the live-action film is canon, but yeah, good point. They have the same last name as Mario in the live-action film. Could be. Could be. It's finally time for Sylvia to meet Sylvia's father. Let's do it. Eh? Oi. Nanimono da. So who goes there? Soko no hane no otoko. So that man wearing feathers. So yeah, who are you? Some strange person? Imasugu. Quickly, get out of this mansion. So Sylvia says, long time no see. I guess they know each other. Ah, so coward like you is now security for this mansion? You've come a long way. You've really risen in the world. Wasef! Welcome, Wasef. Let's get a shout out to Wasef here. We got a raid. And just like us, we got a cat here. And just like Wasef, we are a cat teaching and learning Japanese through Japanese games. I'm a Japanese teacher. in the US. What we do here, we learn Japanese through Japanese games. Let's do a shout out for Wasef. I think we have a command for that. Shout out Wasef. We got a new party member. If you want to join, you can become a party member too. What we do here specifically, we're a bit different. All the words we've learned so far, you can see down here. We power up by learning Japanese words. Power level is currently 3028. If we find new words in the game, wait a minute, it's gone up already, but I didn't want to add it yet because we're trying to get to 3030. Let's add another word. So power level goes up as we find new words in the game. And previous streams, our previous journey, you can see here. We are called Japanese Quest, and you can see the definition, I think, even. We are a journey through game worlds led by a Japanese teacher and a cat. That's me. I'm not a cat. This is a cat, though. Our first party member is Griffin Sensei. You can see here. So, yeah, welcome. Good to see everyone. Welcome. Let's go. Power levels, yep, is going crazy. And thanks for the shout out by Cole there. Sa, ikimashou. So, Kisama, doshite watashi no namae o? So why do you know my name? Namae means name, so why do you know my name? It's because Sylvia was here as a child, was raised here, but now I guess looks a bit different. Aikawarazu. So as always, Nezumi wa igate nano. So as always, mice. You're not good with mice. So they're talking about a memory from the past. Tawashi to machigaete nezumi o tsukanda toki ga ichiban kesaku. Tawashi. So yeah, I'm a Japanese teacher, but there are words I don't know. This word, I'm not sure on. Let's look it up. We got a dictionary here too. Much like Wasef, we look up words from time to time. So tawashi is a scrubbing brush. Not a super common word. We are not going to add that to our power level. So yeah, you thought a scrubbing brush was a mouse. And I guess that's a memory they had. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, not marked as a common word. And I can tell you, that's not a word I've seen possibly ever. And I've read quite a few books. Earlier I showed my book meter. I think I've read over 200 books on there. Sonna masaka, could it be? Soyo. Are you surprised? Odoroita? What? So now we see, I guess the original name of Sylvia was Goriate. Goriate-sama. What, is it you? Like, I can't believe you actually returned. It's been so long. Alright, let's go back to our power level, add some more words. So, imamade, so up until now, sorry I was not in the house up until now. And I kind of want to get to the scene with the father, so let's keep moving it forward. So, of course, make yourself at home. Mr. Bon Jangles, welcome. And I think Sylvia's father should be here. And let's see, scene should be coming up. Here we go.
Papa, tadaima.
Papa. I'm home. It's been a long time.
誰だてめえ。
What? Who are you? And teme is not a very polite word for you either. Dare? Who are you?
てめえは
What? You are...
我が息子ゴリアテ。どの面下げて帰ってきやがった。
my son. And then we see Sylvia's original name too. Now goes by Sylvia, but originally we see the father calling her by name. So we use her as the pronoun for Sylvia because Sylvia is in this Japanese version of the game at least, Sylvia is a girl's name. They use feminine language exclusively throughout the game, so we've been using she and her. Even though the original, not the original, but the English version, they use Sylvando and more masculine pronouns, I believe. We're trying to conserve what they do in the Japanese version as much as possible. So what are you wearing coming back here? Oh, sorry. Yeah, a lot of feathers. Might need some more.
ごめんなさいだと。おい、ゴリアテ。てめえ何か勘違いしてねえか？
You say sorry. I think you have it wrong. I think there's a misunderstanding. Here's the keyword here. Kanshigai. So misunderstanding. I think you've been misunderstanding. Haven't been here for a lot of years. Nani?
てめえの騎士道ってやつで世界中を笑顔にできたのか？
So with your way of the night, again we see Kishido, way of the night. So Kishi is night, Do is the way of something. For example, in Bushido, the way of the warrior. Judo, the way of what, like movement. Here we have Kishido, the way of the night. So with your way of the night, and yeah, standing on the bed, quite a moment. Were you able to bring smiles to the world? Because remember, that is Sylvia's way of the night. To bring back what? To bring back egao. Sekai ju o egao ni dekiru. To bring smiles to the world. Were you able to do it?
いいえ、まだです。
いいえ、まだです。No. Mara means still, so I still have a ways to go. Yeah, on the bed with shoes on. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder what this is about. I guess it's just a matter of space, maybe? Or maybe kind of trying to create like a power differential. And I guess they were resting in
だっ
bed.
たらなぜ帰ってきやがった？
Well then, why have you come home?
てめえは大口叩いて出て行った。なのに夢を果たさぬままよくも抜け抜けと。そんな風にてめえを育てた覚えはねえぞ。
So you talked big about how you're going to bring smiles to the whole world, and you haven't achieved your dream. And still, you come here? That's not the way I raised you. So yep, sonna funi means in that way. Teme o sodateta. So to raise someone, and then oboe means memory. I don't remember raising you like that. And yeah, it looks like Kuchi probably has Gucci. O Gucci. It looks like probably it has a goo in there, doesn't it? So yeah, opening your big mouth. Kuchi is mouth. O is big. And let's check the dictionary on that one for fun. O Gucci. Let's just put a goo. So O Gui, that's not what we're doing. Eating heavily. Here we go. O Gucci, big mouth. And then this is the phrase Oguchi o tataku, to boast, to brag, to exaggerate. Good phrase. And it looks like, yeah, we added Oguchi, good. And then to raise someone. Sodateru, to raise, to bring up. Looks good. Power level is now 30-31, but I really wanted to get to 30-30, so let's, for now, put it on 30-30. Because I want to see that number 30-30. There's a good balance to it, 30-30, even though we are 31-31. Alright, looks good. Yeah, I think both are correct, but let's do the one that we see in the game. So thank you, Square.
Papa! まさかそれって
Papa, could it be...
ちっきしょ。こんな体でなけりゃてめえをぶん殴ってたところだ。
So we see another swear word here. Kind of means like something like damn it, damn. So damn, if I didn't have this body right now, I would I'd slap you, or I'd hit you upside the head, something like that.
ありがとうパパ。ずっと私のことを認めてくれてたのね。
So thank you, Papa. So you mean since the beginning you've acknowledged me? Good word here. Mitomeru. To acknowledge someone, to recognize someone. Finally, Sylvia's realizing after all these years, I think possibly more than 10 years, they haven't seen their father, they've been estranged, but now they've realized they have been recognized by their father, this great warrior who they learned the sword from, and General Greg did.
私、確かに夢半ばのまま帰ってきちゃったけど、それには理由があるの。
So yeah, you are right. This is actually an interesting thing here. Yume Nakaba. So Yume means dream. Let's look that up. So, oh no, Rikai is interfering with my typing. That happens sometimes. Turn it off. So Yume. It is not in there. Okay. So yeah, that's something I'm not that familiar with.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
So Yume Nakaba no Mama. So it must mean, so their dream was to save the world. So they're partway through their dream. So even with my dream not complete, I did come home. But there's a reason. Exactly. He's in the middle of his dream. So Nakaba means in the middle of. I was just thinking maybe it was like a word that it was searchable, but I guess not. And that's fine. Let's go back here. So yep, I'm still in the middle of my dream. Have not accomplished my dream, but still I came back. But there is a reason. Ryuga Aru. The word for reason. Ryu. And by the way, new party member, welcome. Yokoso. Japanese Quest.
Maoka.
So yeah, good new word was added there. Nakaba. Halfway or midway. Sort of midway through a dream. And it seems our father knows. Is it the Dark Lord? So this kanji here means like darkness or magic. This kanji here means king. So the Dark King, the Dark Lord, is that the reason? Our father is in the know. In fact, I wish our father could like join our party because our father is a badass.
そう。魔王がいる世界じゃ、人は心の底から笑えないの。
Yeah, that's right. Like, in a world with the Dark Lord, people cannot truly smile. What we actually see here is kokoro, heart, soko, the bottom. So from the bottom of their heart, people cannot truly smile. Yokoso, Japanese Quest. Welcome to Japanese Quest. Party member. Our party keeps growing. We got a new party member. And remember, as we are on this journey, anyone who does join, find a new word, power level goes up, whether it's Japanese, English, even exercise we talked about earlier. There are different ways we can power up, but that's the hope. We can go on this journey and help each other power up in some small way. Yosh, ikimashou. That's a good question, but maybe if he recovers.
だから私魔王を倒す
So I will defeat the Dark
そして
Lord.
明るい世界を取り戻して今度こそ夢を叶えてみせるわ
And then I will bring back the bright world, and I will, this time, my dream will come true. Yume o kanaeru. To make a dream come true. And what's the dream? Again, we're bringing smiles to the world. And to do that, we must defeat the Dark Lord. So, Atashi, I, Mao o taosu, defeat the Dark Lord.
魔王を倒すだと？てめえまたどでかいこと言いやがったな。面白い。やってみやがれ。
Defeat the Dark Lord, you say? Again, you're talking big. Omoshire. That sounds interesting. Do it. Give it a try. Yatte biru is to try something. That's more or less what he's saying here. So yeah, give it a try. We see General Greg here too, who again also learned the way of the sword, the way of the knight, under Sylvia's father.
ええ必ず騎士に二言はないわ
Yes, I will. Knights do not go back on their word.
それで実はパパにお願いがあってきたの
But, yeah. Actually, jitsu wa papa ni onegai ga atte kita. Atte kita. So actually, I do have a request. Onegai, request.
魔王を倒すまで私の仲間たちを預かってほしいそして私の代わりにみんなの中心になって導いてほしいの
Wow, okay. This is a bit more intense than I expected. So, Sylvia says, could you please take care of my nakama? But not just that. Also, atashi no kawari ni, so in exchange for me, could you become the kind of center for everyone and lead them? I want you to be their leader in place of me. That's kind of a big ask for our father, but let's see.
そんなもんお安いご用よ。困ってる人を助けるのが騎士道ってもんだ。
Huh. I guess our father is cool with it though. So yeah, that's a small price to pay. So helping people who are troubled, the verb for that, komatteru, add person. So komatteru hito, so people who are troubled, saving those people, that is the way of the knight. That's what knights do. Kishido, the way of the knight. And our father is very much a knight. Yep, nakama, good word. Nakama just means like friends on a journey. If you watch like the One Piece anime, that word nakama is said all the time, so it's pretty commonly known in chat, so sometimes I don't translate it.
Papa, 本当?
Eh? Really?
おうよ。ドーンと引き受けてやら。騎士に二言はねえ。
Yep, I will take it. I will take it on. Knights do not go back on their word. This Nigon, let's put in this, we keep seeing this phrase for the knights, so I think it's time to look it up. Nigon. Kind of like Nihon, but one letter earlier, Nigon. So yep, go back on what one is said, so go back on your word, or double dealing, or repeating yourself. So Nigon wa night means I will not go back on our word. And yeah, we've seen this so much. Why don't we just add this to our power level? Seems like the right thing to do, because we've seen it so much, the way the knight is so big in this game. So we have a different variant. Let's see if we can see Nigon. Nigen? Nah, let's do Nigon. If I can only write go properly. Go, Nigon. Nigon one eye. I will not go back on my word. I don't think Papa's ready for all his friends. Yeah, I don't think he might be. Let's find out if he is ready. We'll see. So power level is now 30-34. We've gone past 30-30 onto 30-34. The power is real, unstoppable. It keeps rising.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
Yeah, Papa! Arigato!
Ah, Papa, thank you.
おお、
それじゃ、みんな、パパに挨拶なさい。
Everyone, say hi to Papa. Here we go. Eh? Where's everyone? Ah, here they come.
綺麗なお部屋、素敵。
What a beautiful room. Steki. Splendid, great. And then kya is kind of a screaming sound.
ああ、お姉様のパパ、かっこいい。これからよろしくね。
Ah, Onesama's no papa. It's Onesama's father. Kakui, so cool. So from now on, thanks for taking care of us.
おい、ゴリアテ、こいつは一体どういうことだ。
What is going on here?
なん
はい、パパ。これを着てね。
Okay, Papa, so please wear this. Nani?
おいおい、何してやがんだい。
What? What are you doing? High level.
なんだこの服は。こんなもん聞いてねえぞ。
What is this clothes? I can't wear this. I didn't hear about this. Funny.
だって私の代わりにみんなの中心になってくれるって言ったじゃない。
But you said you would lead everyone in place of me, didn't you?
死に二言はないんでしょ。
You said knights don't go back on their word, right? Again, we see this phrase we just learned. So kishini, so 4 knights. Nigon wa knight. So knights do not go back on their word. And then desho is like making it a question. So knights don't go back on their word, right? Dad got played. Yeah, but it seems like Dad. I think Dad can be okay with it. Dad has fully accepted Sylvia. It seems.
そういうことじゃ。
All right. Finally, Sylvia has made up with Sylvia's father. Check it. It's a good look. Ma, nanda norikakatta fune da. Kono muyou no yatsura wa don to ore ni makasetoke. So yeah, I guess this is the ship that I got on. Leave these interesting people to me. Yep, feel at ease and you can take down the Dark Lord. So some keywords here. Anshin shite. So relax and you can defeat the Dark Lord. Kananazu. Yes, I will. I will defeat the Dark Lord and bring back people's bright smiles to the world. These bright smiles is the key, so let's underline it. Akarui, bright. Eigao, smile. And let's bring them back. So as always, your energy is high level. So yeah, defeat the Dark Lord and then come back. Please come back. And I've got a lot of things to talk to you about still. Sweet. Ja. Mata ne. Look at all our party members here. We'll have to say goodbye to them too. Ja. Mata ne. Kizuna. So even though it's been so many years, we can see this connection between father and son. And that's what that is. Oyako no kokoro no kizuna. The connection between parent and child. We can see that here. We cannot feel all the time that they were apart. Ja, Papa. Mata ne. See you later, Father, and everyone else. Now, very simple adventure guide direction. Go outside the mansion. Let's do that. Soto ni deyo. Go outside. Easy enough. Guessing just that might trigger a story moment. Kore wa nanikoto da? So what in the world is going on? Yep, your mansion's gonna be a bit more lively now.
Minna, いいわね。パパの言うことちゃんと聞くのよ。
So everyone, are you listening? So whatever Papa says, listen to him.
お姉様、行かないで。やっぱりお別れなんて嫌よ。
One-sama, don't go. Yappari, saying goodbye. Too hard. Some of these I don't want to translate from Japanese because it just sounds more right in Japanese. That's why I kind of like playing games in Japanese. So yappari. There's not really an exact English translation for that works because you say it so much, but you wouldn't say as expected in English so much. It roughly means that, but you don't say it so much. And then iya as well. I don't feel like a perfect translation for that. It's just I don't want to say goodbye.
私だってみんなとお別れするのはとっても悲しいわ。
So even for me saying goodbye, parting with everyone, it's very sad. とっても悲しい. Very sad. And what is sad? お別れする. Parting is such sweet sorrow. This is the word for parting. Yep. 別れ to part, to separate. Farewell. 悲しいね. Very sad.
だけどみんなの笑顔を奪う魔王ちゃんを倒さなくっちゃ。それまでの短いお別れ。
But だけど but I must defeat the Dark Lord who took everyone's smiles. It's just a short farewell until then. So Mijikai, short. Mijikai o wakare. It's just a short farewell until we defeat that Dark Lord. Kanashi ne. Tottemo kanashi.
たとえどんなに遠く離れようと私たちずっと仲間よ。
So this, for someone who asked what does nakama mean, this really shows it. So tatoe, no matter how far we are apart, we will always be nakama. We will always be party members, friends on a journey. Just to repeat, because this is a really big nakama moment, let's look up nakama in the dictionary and just see how many different words there are for it. I bet there's a lot. This, again, doesn't totally nakama, I kind of don't translate, because I feel like, again, there's not quite a good translation for nakama in English. So nakama, so member of the same category can be, that's the second one. A company, fellow, colleague, associate, comrade, group, mate, circle of friends, partner. And here I kind of like saying party members. Comrade, friends on a journey, nakama. So we will always be nakama no matter how far I go.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
And I like to think that too, people who have joined us on Japanese Quest. We are all nakama here as well, leveling up in the game, leveling up in real life. Let's go. Comrade might be closest? Yeah, maybe. And here we see, no matter how far I go, zutto, which means always, for a long time. Zutto nakama. We'll always be nakama.
お姉様、困った時はいつでも呼んでね。私たちどこであろうと駆けつけるから。
So, お姉様. No matter. Sorry, I got confused. I heard a weird. I heard like a sound that surprised me, so I got kind of derailed in my thought process. But yeah, so if you're ever troubled, komaru is to be troubled. If you're ever troubled, yeah, what was that sound? I don't know what that was. What was that? It's like an added sound that maybe someone else made. I'm not sure. So yeah, no matter where you are, come help us. If you're ever troubled, we'll be there. Yeah, I think it must have been a delayed sound. Yeah, good new word that we've added here too. So, kaketsukeru. To come running, we'll come running. If ever you need us, we'll come running. And here's the word for to come running. Thanks for adding it. Common word. To rush, to hasten, to come running. Kaketsukeru. To be honest though, like the root verb we should probably add too, if we're adding that. And I'm guessing we maybe haven't added it, so let's go to the dictionary here. This is a verb you see a lot in games. because people are often running around, ranging around fields and such. So, not this word, but I think what we want is this one. Kakeru, and one word, common word, to run, to dash, to race, to gallop, to advance. And it's often used with the feeling of kind of like running out in the field, looking for adventure, kind of like in a video game. So you often see this word in games. And it's one of the words, yeah, so kakeru, to run, to dash, to race. Let's add both of these here. Here we go. Now back to the game, 30-37, power level going up.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Power level is rising. Nice, we got a new special ability combining with Sylvia.
私のわがままに付き合ってくれて本当にありがとう。改めてよろしくね。
So thank you for going along with my wagamama, my selfish quest that I had to do. Wagamama can kind of mean selfish, but in this case, it can kind of mean like my own selfish thing that I wanted to do. And so again, yoroshiku. From now on, yeah, let's go. Let's go on our journey. Yatta! We got a new party member again. Sylvia's back. So, futatabi means once again. Nakama ni kuwawatta. Again has been added to our nakama. To our party members. Let's go.
そういえば私の船なら町を出て東の浜辺に置いてあるの。今まで通り自由に乗っていいわよ。
Sweet. So, by the way, if you want my ship, if you go out of the town, it should be right there on the east beach. So feel free to ride my boat. Hint, hint. That's probably where the next party member might be.
船があればこれまで行けなかった場所に行けるようになるな。引き続き仲間を探し、ラムダを目指そう。
Alright, so let's find Lamuda, the holy city, and let's also find our other nakama. Nakama o sagashi. Lamuda o mezasu. So let's look for our nakama, sagashi to look for, and mezasu to aim for. Let's aim for this holy city. Find out how to defeat the Dark Lord. Those are our 1 and 2 goals. Looking for nakama and 2 holy city to find like a, I think like an airship possibly to fight the final boss. Or to fight Morrigan. Yep, the hype is real. We got Sylvia back. Ooh, sweet, we got the horse bell back. I guess we didn't have it before? Okay. We dropped it. I found this bell on the parade. Picked it up. So now I guess we can use a horse again? Sweet. Here we go. So we see our boat there. I think we can probably take that boat. But we haven't saved for a while, so let's save here too. And we haven't fought a giant Cyclops for a while either. Let's do that. And yeah, ganbarimasu. Now is the time to continue our journey, find more party members, find more words, power up, and defeat the Dark Lord. Ooh, we got a new word up there too, I see. Thanks for adding that word. So another time, again. Aratame. Which means once again.
ドルクモ
よし。勝った。
上出来じゃな。
Power up. Ooh, I think we need to use some of those points too. Let's see. Height. Ooh, Sylvia has a lot. We should use those points too. And so we were working, I think, up here. We're trying to break through to this middle one. We're not reading all those skills always because it's kind of a lot, but let's remind ourselves, where were we here getting all these knife skills with Sylvia? That's a good one. 6 times for sleep damage. And what else? Make charm go up. Not sure what this skill is, but that one, it looks like it's a skill we might want. Let's try for it. Mana mana. Wait a minute, this thing is sparkling? You can ride a doll? What? Can you ride a doll? You can ride this thing.
やるわよ。
Eh. Hi.
はやぶさ切り
So Sylvia is here. Let's try that sleep dagger.
On in there.
Ooh, is this one stronger?
睡魔よ。
Oh, there we go. Ooh, not bad. That thing must be stronger. Too bad it woke up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
No squishy. What is this thing? This thing is strong. Let's do our 6 times damage. We just got the 6 times damage. We might as well use it.
おしまいね。
Not bad.
さあ進もう
Could maybe use a new knife with Sylvia. Yeah, I think you're right. That seemed like a pretty rare one. Can we ride that thing? What in the world? I've never ridden this thing. What? So we got the title for riding lots of monsters. We are now... What in the world? We can go inside this skirt? Eh? I did not know that. High level. Nani kore? So we can't go through here. We gotta go around. We are now basically a monster. Yeah, I thought I had been in all the vehicles in my other playthrough. Could this possibly be a new vehicle? I don't know. But I'll take it. Sugoi. We can even dash. Look at this dash. Yeah, I think no one will think that we are a person now. It looks like we're a monster that is just holding a person hostage. This could be a good way to like go all the way to the Dark Lord in this vehicle, I think. He'll never see us coming. We can just go up and then just stab him. Let's see if we can save with this vehicle. I think we can. Yosh. I'm liking it. Good outfit. Okay, let's end the stream here in this strange vehicle, because why not? With the view of the sea here. We can even be in the ocean. Can this thing fly over the ocean even? I don't know. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. Either way, let's end the stream here. Let's stand by our friend here, maybe. So we'll end the stream here looking kind of different than usual. So I will say, ja! Matane, Japanese Quest will continue tomorrow at the same time. We'll not be streaming Friday this week, but Wednesday and Thursday, same time, we will be streaming. So I will say, ja! Matane, tomorrow, Japanese Quest will continue. Anyone, if you want to follow, you can become a party member as well and join us on this journey. Power level will go up. Right now, power level is 30, 38. Let's make that go up. Look at the bottom right. Now going up right now. So, ja, mina, otsukare. See you next time. Unboxes, NX, Horheim, Callie, Cole, A Man, Onyx, Tebi, mina, ja, matane. See you next time, and let's find out who are we going to host this time. Some people raided us. Let's raid someone else, too. Who should we raid today? That's the question. Got to spread the Japanese hype beyond where we are right here. So right now, Ryuga Plays is studying Japanese through Final Fantasy 14. Let's host Ryuga Plays. Let's see how they study Japanese through Final Fantasy 14. Seems like it might be a good game to play in Japanese. So let's raid Ryuga Plays. Right now they have 4 viewers. Let's make that number go up. Let's start the raid. So, ja! Matane, see you tomorrow. Japanese Quest will continue.